Hey guys, thanks for checking out the SupChef podcast. Today's episode is brought to you by SnipFeed. SnipFeed is this awesome site that allows creators to monetize their content. So it's awesome. I suggest that any food TikToker or health and wellness, I mean anyone that creates content, content takes a lot of time. It costs a lot of money. I mean, the stuff doesn't come free. So if you're a creator, go check out SnipFeed. I'm gonna put Justin, who's my guy over there. I'm gonna put his email in the description. Just let him know that SupChef sent you, or you're coming from the podcast. These guys are incredible, and you can do classes, you can set up Q&As and stuff like that, and it gives you the ability to connect with your fans and allows them to support your content. You can put recipes on there, you can put dance tutorials, workout routines, stuff like that. But if you're a food creator, this is where you got to go. This is the next step. They also have this link aggregation system that's beautiful. It's so much better than the alternative, and Justin, who's my guy over there, will totally hook you up. So go over to SnipFeed. We're gonna put the link in the description of the podcast. It's an amazing site. Get over there and get your content monetized. Hey guys, thanks for checking out SupChef Podcast. Episode 10 features Jessico Wu. She's making lunch for her kids, and she started recording it and blew up on TikTok and Instagram, and she's all over the place. And today she came on the podcast, and she's just really sweet and really genuine, and her kid kept coming in. It was hilarious. So I'll let you check it out. So hi, Jessica.
Hey,
How are you?
Alexander. Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm super excited to have you on because, like, when I first started TikTok, you were like, I just remember seeing like the cooking for my kids and the bento boxes, which you still do, and it's like crazy to see your growth on TikTok and stuff like that, and so I was just really excited because I never had the pleasure of speaking to you, so it's exciting to have you on.
Thanks for having me.
Sure. So, I always like wonder, did you make like interesting lunch for your kids like kind of before TikTok, or how did that all kind of come about?
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing it for 5 years now. My oldest is in fourth grade, so since kindergarten. I don't know. I didn't think it was anything that special just because it's just what I do. And I don't know. I just make things pretty because I like looking at pretty things. I'm a makeup artist. So, I do that. And then just art runs in my family. So I think that has a lot to do with, how I cook or how I make my girls' lunches. And yeah, and I would post pictures here and there on Facebook and like Instagram, and people were like, "Oh, you should video." My sister was like, "You should film it and put it on TikTok," and that's what I did. And yeah,
there you go.
It's crazy.
And I knew that you were a makeup artist, but like you're super into Halloween. I remember like around the Halloween time, you got like really into it with your family and stuff, right?
Yeah, I love Halloween. It's super fun for me.
Yeah, I saw like multiple costumes and stuff like that. That's funny. I love Halloween, and like growing up, that was like my favorite thing too. So
yeah.
Yeah. So the bento boxes, you're selling those now. I think those are really cool. I'm thinking about getting one for my son. My son just started preschool, so we don't really pack his lunch, but he just has like a snack. It's only a couple hours, but maybe for kindergarten we'll send him with some little heart shaped cut strawberries and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's the little things, it matters to them because they're little. Anything excites them. So anything to show that you're thinking of them, or,
Yeah,
just makes their day.
Totally. I could see him being stoked about getting those little like notes and stuff like that, and the little cute little like pics. Where do you ever like find all those like little pics and stuff?
I just kind of find them anywhere, everywhere, wherever I'm at. I'm just like, oh, I could probably use this in lunch, but I have most of my stuff linked on Amazon.
Oh,
so
okay.
Everyone uses Amazon. You can find pretty much everything on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I link everything there. But yeah, when I'm out, like I'm not even looking for stuff, but if I do find something cute out, I can be like, oh, I can use this. Like some of my like hole punchers, they're just regular paper hole punchers, and I use those for seaweed or anything I can fit in there.
Right,
That's
right.
food related.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to when I was like when I was doing like competitions like as a chef, we used to get those. We used to go to like Hobby Lobby or Michaels or whatever and get those little stencils presses for
Yeah.
like cracker doughs and stuff. It's funny how creative you can get with that kind of stuff.
Right.
Yeah. Um, where can we get those boxes? I know you like. I love those little boxes. Where can you get those? Because you have like your own line of those, or how does that work?
I don't not yet. Hopefully soon. But I just link them on my Amazon. Amazon sells them.
Oh, okay.
Um, and then I have another link where I can find them too. But yeah, they're everywhere now,
Oh,
especially
okay.
now.
Now and then like, what what was it like? Because what was that huge article that you did with like the photo shoot and stuff like that?
The Los Angeles Times.
Oh yeah. How was
Yeah.
that? That must have been kind of like surreal to be in the LA Times, right?
Yeah, it was crazy because they were like, "Oh, we want to do a story for about you," and I just thought like little blurb, like
Yeah.
nothing crazy. And she's like, "Is it okay if we send a photographer to your house?" And I was like, "Sweet," And the photographer literally drove from LA to my house for the photo shoot. She set everything up. I made a couple bento boxes, and she had a whole thing. And I didn't even know how big the article was going to be till I actually saw it. Like my friend, I didn't even see it in person. My friend, I told her, I was like, "Hey, can you grab me some? It's coming out this Sunday." And she like posted a story, and I was like, "Oh my God, it's like giant."
Yeah.
People were like, "Oh yeah, it's like food section, like
Yeah.
crazy big."
Yeah, that's
I don't
all.
know. Yeah, it was pretty surreal for sure.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. Like it's funny because I was we were talking about this the other day. It was like, um, we had a news anchor on the other day, and or not the other day, one of our first episodes, one of our first or second episode or something like that, and people like the rec how do you say like people recognize like people from the news so much. It's still so like viable, which is bizarre to me because I never like have ever bought a newspaper, and I get a lot of
All
my
right.
news from like whatever, but it's crazy to see like TV and the news are still so important. You know what I mean? And like having that like piece in LA Times was probably like huge. Like you probably do you get recognized a lot?
Yeah, I feel like I've gotten a lot of opportunity because people saw that article.
Yeah.
Um, Another big one for me was Good Morning America. I was live. And the producers that came to my house, they were like, "You're fine." I was so nervous. And at the end, they were like, "Oh, yeah, only 9 million people watch Good Morning America." And I was like, that's funny. But,
Only
he,
nine
he
million
didn't tell me
people.
till the end because he knew I was nervous.
That's
Yeah, it's pretty
crazy.
crazy how people still watch, the news and the newspaper and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But even like, do you go out to eat or anything like that? And did people like recognize you from TikTok or anything like that? Or
Yeah. It's mostly like when I go to Target or Trader Joe's.
yeah.
One time, so I went to a bakery and I had my mask on. Usually I'll have my mask on, and the lady there that worked was like, "Hey, are you the TikTok, mom?" And I was like, "Oh yeah." And she's like, "I recognize your voice." So most people, it's funny because most of my lunch videos, I'm not even in it, but
Right.
most people, they recognize my voice, which is kind of
Definitely.
funny.
Yeah. I we were talking to that dude can cook. You know Sonny at all?
Mm-hmm.
He was like he said he just recently went to LA, and he said like because he's kind of lives in a small like remote town, and he said that when he went to LA, he was like going to try all this food and went to a sushi spot and did all this stuff. And he said like he couldn't believe how many people like recognized him and was asking him to, like slap the table or whatever. And he's just
Yeah.
it's so cool. Like I am not there yet. I don't get recognized much, but I also live in a small town and I try not to go out too much because it's just
Right.
crazy right now. So our so are you are you originally from like Vegas or where is that from? How does that come about?
I grew up in LA and then I moved to Vegas during middle school. So I pretty much grew up my whole life in Vegas.
Okay.
Yeah, middle school, high school, college.
Yeah.
You know.
Now, and now, like with like with opportunities and stuff like that, have you ever thought about going back to LA, or you kind of have like a family and
Honestly,
stuff? So
no. I
yeah,
love my life in Vegas.
yeah,
I can live a really good life, like a big house. My house isn't big, but compared to LA,
yeah,
for a family, I have 3 girls and I don't know. I feel like I could never live the same life, like saving money, being able to travel,
sure,
if I lived in LA. So no, and it's like 3.5 hours away. So if I had to go over there, I could just drive there or,
yeah,
yeah. I mean, if I was like a billionaire, maybe, but I don't know.
yeah.
I'm not there yet.
Soon maybe. Yeah, because when I lived in Southern California, I lived in like Palm Desert. I don't know if you know where that is, like the desert.
Yeah.
It's cool because like you can like make a day trip to Vegas or LA or even like San Diego, which is pretty interesting. Um, I do miss living in Cal. Somebody asked me the other day, "Do you miss living in California?" I don't necessarily because I live back like in my hometown, which I think is important, but it's right now I kind of do because it's snowing here, so
Yeah.
you know
West Coast, Best Coast.
I don't know about that. um, so what do you are you? I always ask like the creators like, what do you think is kind of next for you? Like, do you have any plans? Like, do you just like making content like on YouTube, or you want to like get into a show, or what's kind of next?
I mean, I want to do YouTube. It's just harder for me to do YouTube because all the stuff I love about TikTok, YouTube isn't. Like just how long it is. I don't like dragging stuff out. I don't like really talking that much. Like a minute is perfect for me because I don't like to add in all the fluff. I'm not a big like I don't know, I don't know. So
No,
I
I get
want
it.
to.
Yeah, I get it because you can't put a 1 minute video on YouTube like the way you can on like TikTok. I get it.
Right. And I work best on just like off the cuff, like most people think I plan my lunches. I don't. I just kind of see what I have in the fridge and then I'll just start filming and making a lunch. And that's how I work best. So it's like with YouTube, I kind of have to plan more stuff out, and think of stuff to do. But I want to because I want to do more recipe videos because that's what people want too. So
Yeah, definitely. I get a lot of requests for like the actual like developed recipes, which is
right,
a lot of times when I'm cooking, I'm just cooking. There's not like this
right,
plan, this recipe that I use that I have written down. You know what I mean? So it's
right,
especially like for instance, like if I make like a soup or a chili, like there's no chance I have a recipe for that.
right.
And people ask for it, which is obviously some people aren't chefs and are not like as necessarily talented or whatever in the kitchen and they need that guide, but yeah, so that's where I think like YouTube does work best is like those planned out recipes and stuff like that. And you know so yeah, it's interesting, but I think you do well. I think you do really well on YouTube, but being like a mom and a makeup artist and balancing all this stuff, it is a ton. People don't necessarily understand
Right.
how much goes into like content creation. I didn't until I started it. Like
Yeah.
I tell this story quite often, but like when we started this podcast, I was like, how hard can it be? Like we know a bunch of people and we'll just record this on our phones and and it turned into like this crazy like very laborious thing that we're passionate about,
Yeah.
but it's a lot. So, it's interesting. People don't really fully understand how challenging it is to put out a TikTok every day.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, it's a lot of work. Like half the time I'm literally in my closet hiding from my kids doing my voiceovers because my house is always loud or, you know, like someone's always talking. I have 2 dogs. So like, that's why I like TikTok because I can, you know, just go to my closet, hide for like 2 minutes, you know, and plug it in real quick. But yeah, with YouTube, it would like I've done it. So I know how much time it takes to edit and do all that stuff. So but yeah, hopefully I can. Hopefully, obviously, I'm trying to make this full time for a long time. And yeah, hopefully I come up with a book. I'm talking to a book agent. My line of bentos. I don't know. I have so much stuff going on. I might open up a restaurant. I don't know. There's a lot of all this stuff that I need to like buckle down, decide what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, it's amazing how many opportunities like come from this, you know, and but it's funny you talk about the voiceovers. I have very similar experiences with the voiceovers. Like I have it like pretty much nailed, and like yesterday was my son's 4. You know, he's 4. It's his birthday yesterday, and
oh, happy birthday!
Yeah, I'll let him know. But he'll run in the door and he'll be like, "Daddy," and then it'll be like I just nailed the voiceover, and then I have to like restart. And I'm like super critical, like the way I do my voiceovers. And it takes me a couple more tries than 2 minutes. Like I'll do them and I'll like be so calm and I'll be like, "Take this pizza" or whatever, and then I'll mess something up and I'll be like, "Fuck!" I'll be like screaming. It's so funny. Those voiceovers are challenging, honestly.
Yeah, the longest part of my voiceovers is my "let's make some lunch for my kids" part. I literally have to say that like 20 times.
Really?
Which is funny because most people are like, "Oh, do you use the same recording?" And I'm like, "I should, but I don't. I say it every time."
Why?
And sometimes I'm just
why does it take you multiple tries?
I don't know because sometimes it's just I don't know. I just don't like it sometimes, and I'm like, doesn't sound right, or I don't know.
Right. Now, like this is always kind of interesting to me. Is like I always wonder what the creators do. Like for me, like TikTok is obviously like it's only my favorite. It's my favorite app to scroll through for sure. But like I always preferred Instagram. But like I wish that could be my platform. I just like that a lot more for like what I do. Um, but like, what do you like TikTok over the other apps, or what do you prefer?
Yeah, I love TikTok over every other app because Instagram is obviously turning into TikTok, and I feel like before people were just posting videos and stuff, it was just people posting pictures. Hi, baby. Okay, I'll see you later, baby. I'm looking right now. Okay, I'll look later. Okay.
That's so cute. That's
Sorry.
adorable. No, it's literally awesome. So yeah, you just
like I'm all about like pretty visual pictures on Instagram, but it just gets old. It's like not as raw and real as TikTok is. Okay, baby, go. I'll come in a little bit, okay? Thank you. She just started learning how to open doors. Yeah. She can reach the doorknob finally, and she's all over the place.
Can't contain them anymore, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Like there's one of my favorite TikTok creators. Her name is Vivian, but she goes by Coffee Bay. I think it's Coffee Bay 97. She's got a pretty big following. I think maybe 500,000 followers. And but like she's like one of the only like there's many people, but she I think is super great on both on Instagram and TikTok because like all of her stuff is like super aesthetics to like the max. Like
right.
Like even when her glasses, she has tons of different ice molds. Like the vessels she uses to stir with and to pour milk with, everything is like like thought out and like so like her stuff, like she could basically make a TikTok of a latte or whatever or an iced coffee, and then it looks beautiful on TikTok and it gets a ton of engagement and views and such, and then she'll just post the image of it on Instagram, and again it's that same beautiful aesthetics. So like I think like she totally nails it. I think she just got verified on TikTok. She's awesome. I don't know if you ever heard of her, but you have to check her out.
Yeah, I think I've seen her before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how I think pizza can be too, because like most of my stuff is pizza. It looks great when you do the cheese pull and when you make it and stuff like that, all the color contrasts. But then an image of it looks great too. So I think like that's why I love both of those apps. And
Right.
YouTube I really only use for the podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, Instagram's great, but yeah, I love that TikTok also showcases people like myself, like I'm a minority, I'm Asian, I'm a woman, so I feel like it's a fair playing ground to everyone that's different. Whereas Instagram, I feel like doesn't showcase as much. Like, if you're following certain people, then yeah, but overall, I feel like it's the plain same filter, the warm tones, pretty pictures, all curated, which is nice, but it's just the same thing.
Yeah, no, I guess I never really considered that, but I've learned a ton. Like I've learned a ton about different like cultures, foods, and stuff like that. Like one of my favorite people that I've ever had on the on the podcast was the Golden Balance.
Yeah.
He does a lot of regular, American, foods, but he does a lot of his influence and his background and stuff like that into his food and stuff like that. And I often see like recipes that he makes, and he's like 22, I think 22 or something. But he like cooks like a professional chef in his house. I love that guy. He's amazing.
Yeah, I love him too. He's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, what other what is there any accounts that you like to follow on TikTok that we could check out?
Rich Black Guy is pretty funny. He does skits. It's mostly comedy skits. He's one of my favorites. I follow a lot of comedy people, like Chunky's Dead.
Oh my God.
She's funny.
She's hilarious.
Like, I love her humor. Yeah, I love her dark humor. Jeannie Weenie, she's another. She does the cabin crew. She was a flight attendant, so she does a lot of those stories.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen her, but she's hilarious.
I don't think so. See, a lot of my feed is like comedy too, which is funny because I was talking to Chef Kuso. He said like he anytime he sees like a food thing, he just posts like puts that he's not interested because I don't know, it's just funny to me because I really see all my stuff is either basically it's either food or comedy. And then there's always like dancing people that always get thrown into my stuff too. But
yeah,
I think that's...
So I love comedy, and then I love fashion people. So I follow fashion people.
Yeah.
And food, of course. Yeah. Those are my three probably top three.
What's her name? Melissa, right? Chunky's Dead.
Yeah.
Melissa. So when I first started TikTok, I remember I had a kind of a viral video like a month or so into it, and everybody's profile picture was that like her face. And I was like, what the hell is going on here? And that's how I originally found out about her. But she recently just followed me back. She's hilarious. She literally cracks me up. And with the other girl with the ham trench coats, I don't know why, but I think that's really funny too. Have you seen her?
I don't know that one.
Oh well, they're friends, and they make content together now. But her literally every video, she just like has like a trench coat, and then she opens her trench coat, and then like toy hams fall out of it, and it's really.
Oh, really? No, I missed that.
It's not funny. It's not funny when I talk about it, but she makes it funny for some reason.
Right? No, that sounds funny.
Yeah, they're friends. If you see Melissa's stuff, you'll see her. Like recently, they've done a bunch of work together. But
that's cool.
That's why I'm so excited. Like when COVID stops, like not stop, whatever the right terms it like when it dials down to a certain level that everybody can collaborate. Because I'm super excited. There's a lot of not local, but there's a lot of people in my area, drivable area, that I'm dying to make content with. So I'm super excited to collab.
I know. People. I'm excited too. I've collabed with two people so far, but yeah, they came to visit Vegas.
Oh yeah, I remember the one. What's his name? The one chef.
Chris,
yeah, he does like the does he do Korean like stuff?
Yeah, he's
Okay.
Korean.
Yeah, he's really talented.
Yeah, him. And then I did one with No Pains, More Gains. He's a chiropractor.
Oh
I don't
yeah.
know if you're using. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did he like
So
crack your neck?
he brought another chiropractor and hit the other guy cracked my body. And then
Damn.
Jordan, he does more like acupressure kind of muscle scalping, I guess is what the technical term is. And he did that too. It was awesome because it was my first time getting cracked.
Cracked, adjusted.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, that's crazy. I don't know. That kind of stuff like gives me the heebie-jeebies for some reason. I don't know why. It always has like people when they just constantly crack their knuckles. It kind of gives me a little like anxiety.
Yeah, it was kind of scary because he did like the head pop move, and I'm like, oh my god, is my head gonna fly off?
Please don't break me.
Please don't kill me. Please. I have 3 kids.
Yeah, I know, right?
But yeah, it was awesome. It felt great.
Yeah, that's cool. When is there any other people like in Vegas that you collab with?
I don't really know anybody in Vegas actually. Those 2 people, like Chris, he's from Philly, I think.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They were all visiting, and they just was like, hey.
Yeah.
And then I do know one. They're younger. They're a TikTok content house too in Vegas.
Oh.
So I know them, and I've been kind of on and off with them just because of COVID. But they've invited me over to their
the Hype House Vegas version.
Yeah, it's the content house no one asked for. That's what they're called.
That's hilarious. Yeah, in Buffalo.
But yeah, they're pretty big. I think they have like over 2 million followers, and they just got a Chipotle and like Tinder or some kind of big deals. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Really cool.
I'm super excited for like 2021 because I think obviously the way this year went, and obviously 2019, but this year much more so. I think there's going to be a ton of big companies kind of jumping into, their marketing budgets, pushing them towards TikTok, which is exciting for us creators,
Yeah, for sure.
And it's not just the money to me. Like, obviously, that's great to be able to be like monetize your content, but it's just cool to have like those brand associations too,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I feel like once all the like Trump and TikTok stuff kind of settles down, I think people will be more on board. And I think that Ocean Spray, the cranberry juice dog face, kind of opened up a lot of like the older generations marketing their eyes, because most people don't know how big TikTok is a marketing tool. And I felt like that kind of showed, like, hey, this is what happened, and that it happens every day. Like, it's crazy.
I mean, yeah, totally. And like, we were talking about this on the podcast with Chef Kuso. Was like, because he landed a deal with the NFL, and I was like, that to me was like, okay, this is it, because you see little companies, and of course, like, if I'm a food company, like, of course, like with all these food creators, like, of course I would put money into it, but there's not necessarily football creators, you know what I mean? That's not really kind of a thing. So for Chef Kuso,
I think Charlie did something with Charlie or Dixie did something with NFL last year.
Yeah, they definitely did something with the NBA this year.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, Kuso he's a big creator, but he's not Charlie, at least yet,
Right.
So it's just awesome to see, these huge, like, NFL's totally a household name, like one of the biggest things in really America. And it's cool to see them getting into TikTok. So I think companies will follow. But yeah, the Ocean Spray cranberry thing, like, that changed the game for them,
Yeah. Even Fleetwood Mac, I mean, they went to the top 10 charts in, I don't know, it was like, I can't remember how many years, but like, it was like close to 20 to 40 years.
Yeah.
So, it's.
And now they're
crazy.
on TikTok, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And
that was the smart move. Yeah. You have to be on TikTok. You have to be on whatever's the newest, hottest thing.
Definitely. Yeah. And I talked to, I went on a podcast recently with a chef friend of mine who is really kind of a progressive chef. He's really into like marketing and stuff like that and branding and all that. And he had a TikTok like that had like 1 million views. He's not a creator really on the app, but he has one. But he had one in like early 2019. So he's just the kind of guy who like stays in on very tries to be early on trends and stuff like that. But yeah, we went on a podcast recently. We were talking about just TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and how to interface with it. And it's just like so important that you have those general like understanding of how it works and stuff like that. And how like people look at your Facebook before they hire you and stuff like that. And it's crazy that people don't get it, but it is what it is.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, if you want to, I mean, especially if you want to be a content creator or with anything, honestly, like I was a marketing director before. So, that was my job, and I had to oversee social media, and I had to know what's going on. So you have to stay relevant.
Right.
Regardless of what you do.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think like that's the thing too, like with marketing, it's like it's got to be like you said, you have to stay on top of it and you have to be relevant. But like some people go to marketing school like 20 years ago, and social media wasn't really prevalent, and now all of their knowledge and stuff like that they learned through marketing is kind of obsolete. So if you don't, like you said, it's just like a chef not learning more stuff. You're totally just going to be behind and then not at all relevant,
Right. So. Yeah. I mean, with everything, there's someone going to do something that's better, like trendier, younger,
Yeah.
So as you get older, you just have to. That's what's good about having kids. Like, I know what's cool because I have kids. They let me know what's cool and what's not.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'm like, I guess I'm like, I know it's weird because I'm 28 and it's bizarre to me because like I always, if I walk around, people would say like, yeah, you're a young man, or you're, especially being like an executive chef, like people look at me and like, wow, you've accomplished a lot or whatever. I'm not trying to like brag, but I'm just saying like it's not often you have like a 25-year-old like chef.
Right.
But then I go on TikTok and people are just like, dude, you are 40. It's hilarious. Yeah. I feel like ancient.
Right.
But it's cool.
I'm older than you. I know.
Yeah, but you don't look older than me. That's the big problem with me is I look older than I am.
No, you don't.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. But kids, man, these kids are like, I get it. Like I have thick skin and stuff. I actually like when people like comment like roasting me and stuff like that in the comments. But man, if I was sensitive, it would be tough.
Yeah, you definitely can't be in this business if you're sensitive because people don't. They have no chill. Like no. They just,
That's the perfect way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah. Literally.
Yeah, this one.
And I'm the same way. I really don't care about what anybody says about me. So I actually talk back to them. So.
Oh, really?
I probably shouldn't. It'll probably bite me in my butt someday. Oh, but
I do it.
I do a lot of typing, and then I'm like,
should I send this?
Okay, I'm not gonna send that because it's probably gonna come back to me. But I do, yeah. Especially if they're younger, I feel like I'm the motherly type, so I would say it to their face anyways if they said it to me. So like certain things, I'm like, watch your mouth. Like you're literally like 10.
See, none of them would say it, and that's the problem. That like they just feel confident, and I think a huge portion of the time, at least for me, and you have it on a much bigger scale. For me, one of the things that I see is like somebody will say something, and then if you comment back, even if you just say ha ha or you say, ouch or whatever you decide to say, a lot of times they'll be like, oh my god, I can't believe you saw that. I was just kidding. Sorry, had a bad day or whatever. So it's like a lot of times they're just like, sitting at, in their parents' house and they're, eating a bag of Takis and they just think that you'll never see it, and you see it. And
that's why I like saying something back because, I do read everything. And, sometimes they'll find me on Instagram and they'll DM me like, I apologize. I'm so sorry. And like, I'm a normal person too, you can't just say whatever you
I
want.
know. A lot of,
Yeah.
I told El Dente Diva, she was on, and we were talking about it because she does, like, she claps back at people sometimes. And I was saying it, like, it kind of bugged me at first. Like, if someone said, like, that looks burnt, I'd be like, it's not burnt. And, like, you know what I mean? Like get, like,
Right.
hurt about it. But one thing is now, like, I read all the comments as if somebody's, like, because my friends and I, like, we grew up, like, roasting each other.
Right.
So I just read the comments as if, like, it's a friend, like, just roasting me. And then I'll usually laugh about it. And then they laugh too. And then it's like, a lot of times they're either already following me or a fan, or sometimes they might even follow me if they're not. So, like, it's,
Right.
I just take it lightheartedly, right? And it's like,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting, man. Kids are wild.
Yeah. I mean, grown-ups are too. Like, if you see, and that's the thing with like Instagram and Facebook, there's a lot of bitter old people. And that's what I get on Instagram and Facebook. And, I get all the comments saying, who has time for this? Who does this? She must be a trophy wife with no, with a nanny. And I'm like, actually, no, I support my whole family. My boyfriend got laid off, like I always tell them, like, and these only take me 15 to 30 minutes. Like, I don't sit there waking up at 5 a.m. thinking about these lunches. Like, hell no. But
it's it's funny, like, you say that. Funny. It's funny you say that because I think you're right. Like, there's a lot of toxicity on Facebook, and I really don't, as much as I should. Facebook is really not the platform that I love, even though I should be on it better because the ability to monetize over there is, like, really good. But it's just like, I don't want to go on there and see everybody's opinion about everything, and it's just like,
right.
It's just a gross space.
I'm the same.
It's just a gross space for me, and I like don't want to spend my time over there, even though I probably should, and just filter out what same thing with TikTok. But I don't know, TikTok is, if I post something and it gets really big, 95% of it is all, like, positivity. So,
right.
The 5% that I get, most of it's a joke that, is negative anyway. So, but you're totally right. There's a lot of old, bitter people that are, trolling each other on Facebook that would never even, that are friends or cousins with each other. It's just weird,
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like, Facebook is probably my least favorite. And I only see, because BuzzFeed will post me, and BuzzFeed Tasty posts me on Facebook, and those got really big. And that's where most of the, people are like, blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, what happened to women supporting women?
Yeah. Come on, ladies, you got to be supportive, right?
It's just funny.
No, it's honestly strange. Like, to be honest, like, every time there's an election, I always delete Facebook off my phone. Like, not delete my Facebook, but I just delete it off my phone because I don't really care what anybody thinks, like, about all this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. It's just brutal. You see everybody ripping each other apart. It's just like, there's no civility on Facebook. You know what I mean? Like, if the same group of people that are all commenting on each other's posts about how they're, all this junk, if they all sat down to eat dinner, they would be civil, regular people in society. You know what I mean? They may have the same conversation and it would go perfectly fine, and they would understand each other's viewpoints. Hopefully,
Hopefully.
But and even if they don't understand, so what? They wouldn't say the things that they say on Facebook. You know what I mean? It's just right. It's become kind of an awful space. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's just the generation that doesn't, it's a lot of closed-minded people on Facebook. I feel like that's why they haven't moved on to other social medias, because they're complacent with their views and thoughts. And I feel like TikTok is more open-minded people, the younger generation. They're, more willing to research things and learn about new things and adapt to new things instead of just, being okay with what it is.
Yeah, and like one thing I see on TikTok that you would never see on Facebook is that when people make, like, political jokes, like, for instance, if somebody, I don't know if you've ever saw it. Well, it was a huge TikTok. Most people probably saw it if they're on the app, but it was a guy and he was saying, something about whatever. If you make a political joke on the app, most people will like, there are obviously going to be some people that get like offended, but a lot of people just laugh at the joke itself and understand that it's comedy instead of like, getting all weird and like teamish and tribal. It's like just laugh at the joke. Whatever. It's just be a normal person. it's so weird.
That's what it is. Yeah, just be normal. Like even with me, I'm making lunch for my kids. Like, I'm not telling you to do it, or I'm literally just making lunch for my kids, and people are like getting angry about it.
It is weird. It is funny that people would assume that because you're making lunch for your kids that you are X, Y, or Z. Just why not just like look at it and just enjoy it?
It's literally
not.
Food.
Right. Exactly. It's funny, man. It's this bagel thing. I got this bagel video that just came out, and it blew up. It was my biggest TikTok, and
but it's probably because you said it that way.
It might be. I don't know. I hope that it's because it's adding value into somebody's life. No, I'm just kidding. No, no. It's just these. I recreated like bagel bites from when I was a kid, and I still don't know.
I saw it. It looked amazing.
Oh, thank you.
I didn't even realize you said bagel or
bagel. I don't know, bagel, whatever the difference may be. Like people like are ripping me to shreds about like the pronunciation of bagel. You must not be from the tri-state area. Like, okay, sorry I didn't grow up in New York City.
It's like me on one of my videos. I said more funner, and people were like, "That's grammar." All the grammar police, and I'm like, I know grammar. Obviously, I went to journalism school, but but it works to our advantage because that video got 15 million views, and it's probably because I said more funner.
I'm gonna say that on my next TikTok.
Yeah, literally, just say something funny.
Well, it's funny because like one time I made a TikTok. It was like right when you had that LA Times post. I was like, I remember I was like, I'm gonna make this like video, and I'm gonna say, hey, I'm gonna make lunch for my kids, like, and then make a pizza. But it didn't do as well as your videos, unfortunately. I just must not have the voice. No, it's so. Are you really considering opening a restaurant?
Yeah, I've gotten a really, really, really good opportunity. Like almost perfect. It's just if I want to like put in the time. Like the restaurant's already built out in an amazing outdoor mall. Everything's already set up. All the equipment's there. I don't have to put in a lot of money like to begin with or wait for any contractor, stuff that you start from the ground zero. All I really need to do is obviously the menu and what I want to do. But I could literally go in there, take a bunch of groceries and say, hey, I'm open if I wanted to, because everything's literally done. I mean,
are you going to like
I have
run
to do
it?
Little things like,
do you want to like run it, or do you want to be like it to be like your like brand?
It would be my brand.
Like you'd have a chef and a manager.
I would probably
maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. That's awesome. I think that's something you should do. I mean, if you're passionate about it, Right.
It's just the rent's really high, and it's a huge space. That's what caught me off guard because I was thinking like the smaller little cafe type deal, but it's literally such a big space, and I love it. It's literally probably any chef or cook or anyone in the restaurant industry like a dream deal because it's so awesome. Big. I could literally host pop-ups there if you guys visit. I told Matt about it already. Matt's one of my best friends on TikTok. I said come help me, and he's like, yeah, I'm down.
Hi.
And yeah, I mean it's just if I have the time. Do I have the time and the energy for it right now?
Hi.
Say hi.
What's your name?
Say hi. It's Alex. You know what's funny? Alexander, I love that name, and I named my first car Alexander.
You named your car that?
Yeah, my first car when I was 16.
That's awesome.
Because I love the name so much. I was like, well, I'm not gonna have a baby anytime soon, so
There you go.
yeah.
Okay, well, we'll let you get back to making lunch, okay?
Alrighty.
Seriously. Uh-oh. Do we have a tumble?
Oh,
All right, but seriously, I just want to say, like, I can't tell you how much I appreciate your time. It's I know
yeah, thank you.
I
Thanks for
know
having me.
how busy that can be. So,
No, and I make it sound like I'm super busy, but I'm
no,
not.
it's a lot. It's a lot. But all right, well, hopefully we'll talk to you soon, though. Okay.
Okay,
All
thank
right.
you,
Yeah.
Alex. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.